Hello and welcome to Image 1697. We will be continuing where we left off, which, if you recall, is after the raccoon found the missing bears with Ransom's phone, and he found it in the room that was basically trashed, and it looks like somebody went wild in there and just destroyed the place, which is weird because apparently the father who lives with the son, or I guess the son lives with the father, he heard a lot of banging, but he didn't really seem to care to investigate. And another thing is, it appears that the glass for the window was broken from the inside out, not from the outside in, meaning that something didn't break in. And considering the fact that we saw, which could be considered a slight prologue, or I guess it's technically October 11th, we saw that something did indeed follow Ransom from the woods, but it didn't break through the window. It basically came into the house. And I'm assuming through the front door, which is still very strange. And we got a very brief glimpse of what it was. But yeah, it seems like there was definitely a sign of a struggle. And rather than calling the police or something, the protagonist, the raccoon, is like, hey, I'm just gonna take a crucial piece of evidence and I'm gonna go back to work. I'm gonna tell my coworkers about it, but none of us are gonna call the cops, which is a little weird. I mean, can't really trust them, but still at least report it? I don't know. Anywho, what else happened? Oh. As the raccoon was going through the Ransom's blog post where he posted all the pictures and saying spread the word or whatever, he was saving the pictures, but all of a sudden the blog post disappeared. So who deleted it? The only person that could probably delete it was somebody that has access to the account, so either somebody that has access to the laptop still, which could be the father, or whatever it was that attacked Ransom, or somebody that has access to the account from outside, meaning either from the work where the guy may have logged in or something like that. But regardless, some pictures were still saved. And the last scene that we saw, the protagonist was in the shower, and they kind of had a weird feeling like they were being watched, which could be anything from paranoia to actually being watched. But yeah. Interesting. Anywho, so yeah, without further ado, let us continue Image 1697. I believe this is October 13th. A faint green line on the horizon signals the coming sunrise. The ground is still damp from an overnight rain. A light but ominous mist lingers over the empty town. Even though I don't see anyone in the streets, I try to look as casual as possible as I walk through the neighborhood. Yeah, I don't look suspicious at all. Eventually, I make it to Ransom's house. I hope his dad is a heavy sleeper. I mean, if he just sits on his ass all day drinking booze, I'd be surprised if he either A, is up this early, or B, wakes up to catch me in the act. I creep around the side of the house again, being sure to step over the leaves that may crunch. Soon I'm in the backyard, and I find myself in front of Ransom's broken window once again. The void I'm met with beyond the frame of the broken glass is ominous, threatening. At first, I worry that something is watching me from the dark. Even just thinking about the claw marks all over his walls is enough to make me shudder. But I have to get back in there. So once again, I maneuver around the broken glass on the ground and in the window frame. I guess his dad hasn't even noticed the glass outside. My back scrapes against a shard of glass in the frame, but hey, better that than my neck. Soon I'm back in the dark, thrashed room. God, it feels heavy in here. It's a stark difference from the breeze outside. My eyes take a second to adjust to the darkness. Soon I see those damn claw marks decorating his walls again. His room looks pretty much the same as it did yesterday morning. Has his dad come in here even once? Called the police or something? What the hell? Is he that uninvolved in his son's life? Whatever. I can't think about that now. There is a reason that I'm here. I turn my phone's flashlight on. The light makes the details of the room easier to make out, but it's still hard to see in here. His camera's got to be in here somewhere. I don't see it on the floor after doing a quick scan, so the first place that I think to check is under his bed. God, I still remember the way his phone lit up from under here. The first thing that I see when I peek under the bed is a black bag. It's sturdy and has a long crossbody strap attached to it. His camera bag. Score. I waste no time dragging it out from under the bed. Impatiently, I peek inside. Empty. Of course it would be. Did he drop it somewhere? No, that thing is too valuable to him. It must be around here somewhere. So I do a more thorough search of his room. I look in every corner, under his bed, under his desk, and his closet. His camera is in here. No. Then, what am I supposed to? His laptop. Of course, if he took those photos on his camera, the only way that he could post them on his blog would be through his computer. The photos must be saved on the computer. So I rush over to his desk and press the space button on his laptop more times than necessary. Now that I'm getting a good look at the thing, I notice something. This laptop has gone through a lot. The claw marks across the screen are loud and obvious, but there is also a large chunk missing from the upper left corner of the keyboard. Almost like someone took a bite out of the laptop. What the fuck happened here? The screen stays black for a bit, and I worry that the laptop has gone dead. I wouldn't be surprised considering the state that it's in. But as soon as I press the space key a few more times, the screen miraculously turns on, to reveal a messy canvas of colored rectangles and black lines. The screen seems to be completely dead in areas with the claw marks. Only a bit of the left side remains, and I see what looks like one of Ransom's signature nature photos. Of course, there's no way that I'm gonna get anything from here. Fucking great. What do I even do? There was blood outside. Maybe there's a trail? If there is, then I didn't notice or follow it because of Walter's call. So I stepped through the window again, careful as I had been every time. It feels significantly better out here, but the heaviness still lingers as I search the forest floor for traces of blood. If Ransom broke his window and went through it, yeah, that would definitely hurt, so it makes sense that he would be bleeding. I think the blood was over here. But where is it? I can't smell that metallic scent anymore. It's then that I realize something. The leaves and the dirt are damp. It also feels a bit more humid this morning than it did yesterday. It rained last night. Fuck. The rain must have washed the blood away. Not only that, but any footprints I could have followed. Fuck. I came here looking for clues, only to find myself at a dead end. Well, I guess I still have some of the photos that he posted last night. But that's all that I have. I guess all I can do is take a closer look at those pictures. Patrick can help with that. Well, I guess I've done all that I could here. I should head home before Patrick wakes up. So I make my way back to the road and start walking back. The mist gets heavier and it threatens to block the sunrise. It's going to be a foggy day today. The air feels heavier too, and I feel that tingling sensation in the back of my neck again. Like someone is watching me. The cold air suddenly sinks in and I hug myself in an attempt to warm myself back up. I look around me for anyone who might be watching. and also for any sign of the bear. But I'm alone. I lived in this town my whole life, but I don't think that it ever felt so empty. This all feels so weird. I'm having a hard time processing this. This incompleteness. This emptiness that comes from Ransom's disappearance. Who knew a person disappearing would affect me this much? It's almost like that. No. It's just a story, just a coincidence. But it still feels weird. Weird enough that it becomes a plausibility. I find myself starting to shiver, so I pick up my pace, as if I'm trying to run away from something that wants to pull me into that mist. Ransom, where are you? Thankfully, Patrick wasn't awake when I returned. I didn't really want to go back to bed, especially since I knew that I wouldn't get any more sleep. So I just took a shower and pretended that I had woken up then. He bought it. It's around noon and I'm looking through the photos for the 100th time. What is the deal with this tower? What exactly is up there? What did he see from up there that is so important? A notification from my mail pops up. The first thing that catches my attention is the subject line. Spread the word. Like the caption of Ransom's post. Without feeling like I have much choice, I open the email. Hello, I am so sorry to email you out of nowhere like this, but the truth is that I have been cursed. I have seen an image that makes you go mad when you look at it. The only way to stop it is to share it with 9 people. Again, I am sorry to send this image to you. It was the only way to stop it. You can also stop it if you send it to 9 people. If you don't, you will go mad and die in a week. Ugh. This one of those chain emails, isn't it? But the subject line is the same as Ransom's post caption. Is that just a coincidence? Did this person see the post? What is this image? Curious, I click on the attachment. It just looks like one of those cursed images that I often see on the internet. A shadowy figure looms over a dark road. This is the image that will kill me in a week unless I share it. What even is this? I'm about to inquire further when I get a text from Walter. The caption of the email sure is strange, but it really just seems like an ordinary prank to me. Yo, Ryan, you there? Yeah, what's up? Any news about that bear? No, I've been looking. I think we should report him missing in the paper. Well, we'd have to ask David first. So let's do that. Let's meet with him and ask him. Really? I really don't want to deal with David right now. But this is an important issue. Posting a missing person report in the paper will be beneficial. People will come forward and offer to help. Alright, let's do it. Sweet, let me text him real quick. It takes him a bit to get back. Alright, he said yes. Sienna's in 20 minutes. Sienna's is a cafe right across the street from the Sun. Ransom goes there often. Perhaps I can ask the staff and they know anything. Looks like I'll have to leave right now, though. Okay, see you there. Okay. I get off of bed and throw my jacket and bag on. Patrick is on his laptop at the kitchen island and notices me passing. What's happening? Oh, Walter and I are meeting with David at the cafe. I see. Is it about Ransom? Yeah, we're gonna try to report on his disappearance. Do you need David's permission to do that? Yeah, I don't know why, but David is David, and whatever he says goes. What if you call the police? Please, the police don't do shit around here. The Lion shrugs at that. I guess that's fair. Well, good luck. Thanks. Oh, I'll keep looking through the photos for you, see if I can find anything. Thank you, really. Oh, it's no problem. Alright, gotta go now. Love you. Bye. Patrick waves as I leave the apartment. So, what is this meeting for? David, Walter, and I are sitting in one of the small round tables outside the cafe. Walter took the time to get himself a muffin. I didn't get anything as I wasn't particularly hungry. Neither did David. Well, it's about ransom. I think we should put out a missing person report. David looks expressionless. I really can't tell whether he's taking this seriously or not. I think it's a bit early to consider him missing, don't you think? His response takes me and Walter by surprise. I haven't seen or heard from him in like a day and a half. What do you mean that it's too early? Well, you are already distant from him, so that's not really big news. Besides, he could just be on one of his fishing trips. For more than a day though, Lake Champlain is only like an hour away. Maybe he stayed there. I don't know. Have you seen his car? No, it wasn't in his driveway. His dad was home too. But then, what happened in his room? Why is his computer all busted up? Where is his camera? I decide not to tell him about Ransom's phone, because I feel like he would confiscate it if I did. I think you're jumping to conclusions too quickly. So let's just hold off on that for now. Walter and I both look at each other incredulously. Why is he doing this? You serious, man? Then I remember something, and an idea comes up. Excuse me for just a sec. I don't wait for the responses as I stand up and head inside. I walk up to the desk and call over the first barista that I see, a pigeon. Hey, what can I get you? Sorry, I haven't exactly done this before, so I'm not sure what to do. Ah, yes. I take my phone out and look for Ransom's contact photo. Once I find it, I show it to the barista. Have you seen this man lately? She looks at the photo and immediately responds. Ransom? Yeah, he's a regular customer here. Yeah, did you see him yesterday or today? No, I don't think so. Did something happen? Huh. I'm just looking for him. He didn't show up to work yesterday. It's nothing. Sorry to bother you. It's no problem. I hope that you find him. Thanks. So, defeated, I go back outside. When I return to the table, I see Walter getting more impatient with David. The fuck do you mean that this is an important issue? I think a person disappearing is pretty damn important. Hate to break it to you, but people disappear all the time, especially here. I doubt people will bat an eye on a report of a random bear going missing. Random? He's your employee, my coworker. What the fuck are you saying? Look, I get that you're upset about your piece being delayed, but I think that you're overreacting. At this point, Walter looks bewildered. I mean, I'm confused as hell too. Why is David doing this? Well, you know what? Fuck this. Walter's words fade away as he looks across the street. I follow his gaze. An old bear is pacing outside the Greylock Sun. I can hear him yelling too, though I can't tell what he's saying from this distance. Ransom's dad. Oh shit. Don't interact. Walter and I don't listen to him. Instead, we rush across the street to see what's happening. Several Sun employees had already come out by the time that Walter and I had crossed the street. The old bear points and yells at the employees. Where the fuck is my son? Sir, I already told you, we haven't seen him lately. Bullshit. I know he works at this fucking place. He works here every day. I notice his uneven footing and slurring in his voice. Fuck. He's drunk. He turns around and looks me dead in the eyes. You. Uh-oh. Where's my son? Oh, now he cares? I don't... Don't you give me that I don't know shit. You're Alright, Mr. Wilkes. That's enough. Let's get you home. No, I want to know what that dumpster driver there did to my son. He points right at me as he says that. Bitch, I could knock you down with a single kick in your state. Several people have gathered around us, watching this play out. A few younger people have their phones out and are pointing them at us. Well, this is great. She was the last one to come to my house. He then lowers his tone and I freeze as he gives me a cold, hard stare. Where is Ransom? I really don't know, sir. He gives me an angry scoff. So what? The witch took him? Everyone goes silent for a bit. A few people in the crowd start murmuring. Yeah. Did the witch take my son? That whole thing? Really? I know that I was considering it earlier, but that's just stupid. Oh, come on now, Errol. You know that's just a story. Yeah? Then how do you explain the disappearances in this town? He pauses. After a few seconds of silence, his face lights up, like he's just had a moment of clarity. It's surprising, given his current state. He turns his attention to the entire crowd. I've seen many people disappear in this town. Even before I was born, people were disappearing. That's because of the witch's curse. That raccoon's aunt was one of them. The old bear points at me again, and I feel a boiling in my chest. Leave my aunt out of this, you fucker. But it's true. He pauses again, looking at nothing. Some people in the crowd look at me, which is exactly what I need right now. Even Walter looks at me with confusion in his eyes. Eventually, the bear starts to cry. I see. My son has fallen to the witch's curse. The crowd murmurs again. Hey now. It's true. Someone else from the crowd speaks up. I recognize the voice of Jim Delaney, an otter who attends the same church as my parents. We all look at the old otter. He put pictures on his internet blog thing last night, and I saw him. Wait a minute. Wait, you've seen the whole post? Yeah, I have, and I've seen things. Well, tell me, what was in the pictures? There is a damning silence as he pauses for a bit, seemingly considering his next words. The otter is shivering. He seems genuinely on edge. What did he see that would shake him like this? It was the witch. Are you fucking kidding me? And it's a good thing that it was deleted. If the witch takes those who look at her, God knows what would happen if the people on the interwebs saw her picture. You have got to be... Is he making that up? Hold on. I notice a flaw in his logic. So, if you saw a picture of the witch, why didn't you go missing? 'Cause God has power over all of the devil's acolytes. Oh my fucking... So stay strong and keep saying your prayers. Something evil is lurking in Greylock. And it looks like it got ransom. The otter walks away without another word. Are they really taking this shit seriously? I guess... the most that I can do is pray that he's gone with God. Hey now, I don't think he's dead. And how would you know that, cat? If you get taken by the witch, there ain't no coming back. Come, Walter, leave the poor man alone. What? Alright, I'm too tired for this. I put on my best nice voice and I speak to the bear. Okay, Mr. Wilkes. I will look for your son, okay? And when I find him, I will tell you everything, okay? Yeah, and I'll help out. He seems to have at least listened to my words, so that's good. Alright. Thank you. Just remember, the witch takes those who wander too far into the fog. Sorry, everyone. I'll be going now. The bear then starts walking home, solemnly looking at the ground. The crowd starts to disperse as well, groups of people talking amongst themselves. Meanwhile, the Greylock Sun employees, Walter David and myself included, just stand there in the middle of the road. I would stay out of this if I were you. Are you serious right now? Look, I know that you're worried about Ransom. I am too. His tone as he says that is more blank than the canvas of a procrastinating artist. But I don't want you to put yourselves in danger. Are you saying that you believe in the witch's story right now, even though you said that it was just a story a few minutes ago? There are much more dangerous things than a legend, Birder. So just let the police handle this, okay? So you're just gonna do nothing? Then I will handle this. Fine. I lie as I turn around and start walking home. What the fuck was all that? Patrick is still sitting at the island when I come in. I assume that I have a sour expression on my face because the lines immediately fills with concern. What happened? He said no. What? Yeah, a member of his own staff went missing, and he told us not to worry about it. I pace around the living room, still trying to process what just happened while Patrick watches. What the fuck? And, to make it worse, locals are saying that it's the witch. Christ, way too many people believe in that story. Yeah, and you know Jim Delaney, the old otter from my parents' church? He said that Ransom posted a picture of the witch on his blog last night. What the hell? Is he seriously using Ransom's disappearance as an excuse to spread some dumbass story? It's just a superstition, but the older locals here will blame anything on the witch. I swear to fucking God. I stop pacing and take a few deep breaths to collect myself. Do you believe it? Huh? If the witch really did exist, would you believe Ransom really found her and took a picture of her? Even if he is on board with this, what the fuck is happening? This is just stressing me out. I don't know. I've grown up hearing about this stupid story, and I just don't want to believe it. I don't believe in paranormal shit, but it's clear that everyone else here does, you know? I mean, I guess it makes sense. Whether you believe it or not, the story of the Greylock Witch is very ingrained into this town's culture. Doesn't it go all the way back to the town's founding? I mean, I suppose so. And the older folks here are definitely more religious. If they believe in a divine higher power, then they'll also usually believe in forces of evil. Does that make sense? I guess so. But still, it just feels so fucked up that they're using Ransom's disappearance as a way to spread that legend. It's just like with my aunt. Yeah, sorry about that. I'm not sure that it'll help, but I just found it interesting. Did you by any chance get a chainmail with the caption, "Spread the word," with a cursed image attached? I did. Did you get it too? Yeah, I did a little digging. It's not just us. It's suddenly become a whole thing. This specific chainmail, I mean. A cursed image that makes you go mad unless you share it. I've seen a few other images, all of them different. But they all show some kind of shadowy figure, usually in the dark. Another thing that they have in common is a file name. Image 1697.jpg. I'm looking this up. Do you think that it has to do with ransom? I mean, it might. The caption alone could have just been a coincidence. But I also saw some people saying that they saw this chainmail as early as yesterday. The day that Ransom disappeared. Yeah, don't you think that it's just a bit too weird? Yeah. One other thing that I noticed, the file name image 1697.jpg. The first picture that you save from Ransom's blog is image 1679.jpg, while the last one is image 1686.jpg. How likely do you think that there was an image 1697 in that blog? When I scroll through the results for image 1697, I see what Patrick had described to me. A plethora of images depicting shadowy figures in various locations. In fact, I see the one that was sent to me several times. Could this... So, if you think that this image 1697 is from Ransom's post, do you think that someone might have found it and posted it on here? It's likely. Wait, image 1697 supposedly makes you go mad when you look at it, right? That seems to be the case. Sounds kind of like the Greylock Witch. Patrick and I look at each other, and I think that I know what we're both thinking. I'll be keeping an eye on this. Well, anything else? In other news, I think I found something. I immediately light up at his claim. Really? Yep. I looked through the pictures and I think that I got something. Alright, what was it? I walk over to the island a bit more giddily than I really should have, and I lean down to get a good look at Patrick's computer. Okay, so starting off with this first picture. It's a picture of a steeple. So I think it's pretty obvious that this building is a church, yeah? I mean, I'd be surprised if it wasn't. Yeah, but check this out. Notice this small statue at the very top of the spire? He points to something on the screen, and I do see a small blob standing at the top of the tower. It looks like a person holding a horn. Yeah, what about it? Well, I found that that's the angel Moroni, who only appears at the top of Mormon churches. Okay, so this is a Mormon church? Yes. So I did some research and I found out that there is one branch of the Mormon church in Greylock. Check this out. He then goes to another tab showing a satellite map of Greylock. He already has one location pinned, the Mormon church building. Looking closely, I noticed something about this location. It's right next to the forest. Yep, at the very eastern edge of the town. So I think it's safe to assume that Ransom went east during his little journey. Huh. I mean, he could have gone around town, but yes. Let's just assume that he did go east for now. Then something occurs to me. Hold on. What is it? Ransom lives over here at the western edge of town. If he went home and then went into the woods, would that mean that he traveled west when he disappeared? Patrick considers this. That does complicate things. But let's be real, Ransom could be anywhere. Greylock is surrounded at all sides by forest for miles. But I have a theory. That if we can find what he was looking for, then that can help us find him. Honestly, I'm just looking for clues. The photos are the only clues that we have, and Patrick has clearly done his homework here. Okay, anything else? Yes. The line goes back to the photos and scrolls through them for a bit. Now, because the forests around this town are so vast and dense, and these photos are quite misty, it'll be hard, maybe impossible, to determine Ransom's exact path. So that's why we look for landmarks. I couldn't see anything that stood out from the trees like markers or anything. But then, we get to this. He then stops at one particular photo. The picture of a tower in a clearing. The tower is not super tall, but it almost seems to disappear into the heavy fog. Exposed stairs lead up to what looks like a small hut on the top. A fire watch tower? Yes, exactly. Now, there are multiples of these towers in the forest around Greylock, but I think that we can determine exactly which one Ransom went to. Oh yeah? Yep, check this out. The line goes back to the map. He circles his cursor around the church. Now, going back to the church, we've seen how it's in the northeastern corner of the town. Uh-huh. Well, check this out. He then scrolls to the northeast away from the town for a bit. Eventually, he stops and zooms in. I notice a clearing in the trees, and in the middle of it, a fire watch tower. Yes. Holy shit. I think we're actually getting somewhere. So you think Ransom went to this specific tower? Well, it's just a theory based on what we have. Also, I think that this was one of his stops on the way to whatever he was looking for. Like you said, there were more pictures than just the ones that we have. That's not too far from here. You think that this will give us something? I believe so. Patrick, you wonderful son of a bitch. Then, let's start there. We don't usually use Patrick's car. We live close enough to downtown and work that we just walk. But now is more than an appropriate time to use it. The fog still hangs heavy as we approach the eastern edge of town. The sun has been completely blocked out, draping the entire town in shadow. It feels more like night than late afternoon. At first, I worry that it's going to dump heavy rain on us in the middle of our investigation, but it's really just heavy fog. It doesn't make it any less unnerving, though. Eventually, we pull into the parking lot of the church. Thankfully, it's empty, except for one other car. It is a bronze truck, and it's absolutely busted. The windows are broken, and there are dents and claw marks all over the outside. Wait, I recognize this truck. Holy shit. Whoa, what happened to that truck? No, I mean... As soon as Patrick stops his car, I step out and run to the truck. Ryan? The line steps out too and catches up to me. We both gaze at the intimidating trashed vehicle in front of us. Ryan, what's going on? This is Ransom's truck. Patrick looks at the truck again, and something clicks in him. Oh shit. These are similar to the claw marks in Ransom's room, which means whoever was in Ransom's room also came here. Dread boils in my stomach as I look between the broken truck and the dark woods right behind it. I can barely see beyond the tree line, and the tops of the trees disappear into the dark, heavy fog. Just to make sure, I pull my phone out and find the first picture from Ransom's blog. I look back to the church and compare. Sure enough, that's a match. Yep, this is the place. Well, alright. He was definitely here. I put my phone away and look back at the godforsaken forest. Ryan? Are you sure you want to do this? I don't know what it is, but something feels dangerous about this place. I think something or someone is wandering around here. Just looking at the tree line, a sense of dread rises that I don't think that I've ever felt before. My legs freeze, my stomach turns, my head spins. Ransom's in danger. I need to help. Yeah, I want to do this. Let's just, stay close to each other. And so Patrick and I turn our phone flashlights on, and we begin our journey into the dark woods. We try to walk in a straight line through the deciduous labyrinth in the direction that Patrick concluded that we should go. I don't bother comparing locations to the pictures here because it would be like finding a needle in a haystack. As I walk, I point the light around me, looking for anything that might be watching me from the trees. Even though I don't see anything, that sensation returns. The tingling in the back of my neck, except it's stronger than ever now. It's very possible that something is watching me, but I just can't see it. I'm prey in a predator's territory. I try my best to stay composed, though anxiety continues to marinate deep in my body. You sure you know where you're going? I'm pretty confident that it was this way. Satellite maps don't lie. Alright, don't get us lost. I'll try. I try to lighten the mood, but the heaviness is still there. The feeling of wrongness burrows into me, and I pick up the pace a bit to try to escape it. Patrick notices my gait and catches up. Whoa, hey, let's, not rush, right? I know, it's just... this place gives me the creeps. Yeah, I mean, I get why they call it the Forest of Perpetual Mist. Oh shit, this is that forest? At least I'm sure it is. A specific part of the forest just east of Greylock. Yep, the forest where it's always foggy. They say that even on sunny days, you can spot a light mist here. And this is supposedly the witch's domain too, so that's... fun. Patrick freezes and his gaze is distant, like he's looking past me. What? What is it? The line points past me. What? Is that a... I follow his finger and, the fear rising, I peer behind me. It takes me a second, but I finally see something that stands out from the forest floor. Is that... a hand? The forest spins around me as I look at the disembodied hand. My stomach drops when I see the dark red blood. It's probably dried by now. But what gets me the most? The fur on the hand is brown. Like... Does that look like a bear hand to you? With its tough-looking skin and claws like daggers. It could be. Look. That cut is clean. This wasn't done by a wild animal. I almost swear that the trees are breathing as my mind races across new possibilities. Could this be? The animosity becomes more intense, and it's burning a hole right through me. It doesn't just feel like something is watching me from the forest. The forest itself is watching me. What if I'm overthinking this? Maybe this isn't Ransom's hand. There are plenty of folks here with brown fur after all. Yeah. Ryan? Yeah? Should we head back? I don't like this. I glance at the hand again and My need to find Ransom becomes stronger. We came here for a reason. I can't just leave now. Let's at least try to find the tower. That's why we're here, isn't it? The line considers this for a moment. I suppose so, but I don't... Let's just be quick, alright? Okay, yes, let's go. The forest breathes with us as we move deeper. I can feel the breath on the back of my neck, like someone is walking behind me. We walk for another 20 minutes. Our newfound anxiety grips us and refuses to let go. Soon the trees start to become more sparse. The canopy becomes less heavy, though the fog still feels oppressive. Eventually we come across a clearing. And sure enough, in the middle of the clearing. Well, how about that? I turn my phone on and look for Ransom's photo. When I find the right one, I compare it to the tower standing in front of us. Yep, that looks like the same tower. Even the way that it disappears into the fog is similar. Let's just hope that the other towers weren't built the same. Yeah. I scroll through the photos after one at the bottom. The next photo shows Ransom climbing up the tower. And then I get to the last picture that I managed to save before the blog post was taken down. I assume that it was taken at the top. We have to go up. Huh. Great. You're not scared of heights, are you? Well, it's fine when I'm in an enclosed space. We walk through the clearing, approaching the tower. In addition to the tower, a picnic table made of rotting wood decorates the clearing. Who would have a picnic here? I notice that it's starting to get darker. It must be evening. We've reached the stairs. They're made of wood, and they show signs of exposure to the elements over however many decades this tower has been standing. Looks like it hasn't been used in a bit. Well, let's hope that it's structurally sound. Yeah. Just don't look down. And then we begin climbing. The stairs are soft and creaky. I worry that they won't be able to support our weight, but they seem to do just fine. Eventually, the only thing that I can see around us is fog. I try to find comfort in being next to my boyfriend, but it feels like anything could be watching me from that mist. Prey in a predator's territory. I quicken my pace a little, partially out of impatience to find anything up there that may lead to Ransom, but also to get off this damn staircase. It feels like forever, but we finally reach the top. Huh. The small cabin at the top is made of wood, and it's scratched everywhere. There are windows with no panes, and a door frame with no door, allowing the mist to seep into the tiny room. The doorway leads to a balcony, presumably so people can watch over the forest in normal conditions. The only thing that I can see from here is a few chairs and cabinets. Patrick and I take some time to look around the cabin. There are signs of activity, though it could be from anyone. Immediately, I don't see any signs of Ransom. Then I get an idea. I open my phone again and find the last picture that I saved. It's clear that it was taken from the top of the tower. But which direction? I look closely at the photo. In it, I can see the sea of trees below. Sure, it's foggy as hell in the picture, but at least I can see the tree line. But then, I see something that sticks out from the trees. It's very faint and I have to squint to see it, but it looks like something unnatural is poking out from the canopy. Hey Patrick, did you see this? Huh. What is it? I walk over to him and show him the picture. I zoom in on the faint formation and point at it. Did you notice that at first? He looks closely at the phone screen for a few seconds. I guess I didn't. Looks kinda like a building? You think that could be another clue? Maybe. Problem is that Ransom could have gone pretty much anywhere after this tower. Besides, do we even know which direction that thing is in? I can probably guess. Judging by the way that Ransom took these pictures, it's clear that he's intentionally trying to point us in a particular direction. I go to the photo right before the view from the balcony. The picture was taken from the middle of the room, and I see the door and windows lead to the balcony. So I point in that direction. I think that it's this way. The fog is too heavy to see anything though, so I'm not certain. Actually, if you look at the window on the left, and yeah, I know that I don't usually like cut the videos like this, but like, you see what looks like somebody is standing there, like from the outside. Well, I don't know if it'll help, but I found this weird thing. I look at him and he gestures to one of the cabinets. I squat down to look inside and I see something scratched into the old wood. Let Scorpio guide you as above, so below. The hell? I know it's weird. I decide to take a picture of the writing. Ransom didn't have a picture of it, but I take one in case that it might help. So you think that it's this way? I look back and see Patrick pointing at the door of the balcony. I go back to the photo and confirm it for him. Most possibly. I'm about to turn my phone off again when I notice something. Something that makes my blood freeze. Right at the very edge of the picture, peeking from behind the window, I see a dark mass. Hey, we both saw the same thing. I look up at the actual window, but I don't see anything there. Did Ransom not notice that when he took the picture? Wait. Fuck. It was on the balcony. And he went out there. The fur on my neck rises as I look at the window again. Then I creep towards the balcony. I keep my eyes on that window in case something is really there. Any ounce of safety that I had before evaporates the instant that I step out from the cabin. An inch further into their unrelenting fog, and I turn left. Nothing. And yet, I feel something is there. Anything could be in the fog. Watching me. Ryan? Huh? It's getting dark. I think we should head back. You know what? I want to get out of here. My need to find Ransom is getting stronger, and yet, I really want to get out of the forest. That sense of danger that I had been feeling since I saw Ransom struck at the church, it increases 100-fold when I look back at that photo and see that shadow. And now, I'm longing for any kind of safety. Yeah, let's go. You know where we came from? Yeah, let's get out of here. And so we begin our descent, down and away from this trap of a tower. After about an hour and a half of navigating the foggy forest and town, we finally are back at our apartment. Neither of us said much throughout the journey back. Even when we're inside, away from the forest and tower, I still feel the sense of danger that I had felt ever since I saw that figure. I look at the windows and see them peeking into the night. Still fearing that something may be out there, I walk over to the windows and close the blinds. Eventually, Patrick speaks up. So, what do you think? What should we do next? I skim over my memory of our investigation at the tower. Well, to be honest, we didn't really find much at the tower. But I don't think that we're at a dead end yet. There is that thing that we saw in the picture that Ransom took at the balcony. If I had to guess, it must be a building of some kind. That weird message that we saw might help too. Let Scorpio guide you, as above so below? Yeah, it's very vague. I'm not sure that it will help, but I think that it would be good to keep in mind. So whatever direction Ransom took that last picture on at the balcony, that should be the way that we could go next. Yeah, I agree. The problem is that that's the last picture that we have. After that, we're on our own. I sit down on the couch, exhausted from our long walk through the woods. Yeah, I think we're lucky to have any kind of lead. Honestly, I would take anything if it gets us closer to ransom. Patrick pauses for a bit, clearly pondering something. Can I ask you something? His tone is different than before. It's almost like he's being cautious or something. Clearly, he's about to ask me something serious. Mm, sure. He then sits down next to me and takes a breath. So, I know that this might be a dumb question, but I just want to know. I look at the line in anticipation. Why do you care? Huh? What do you mean? It's just, you seem very dedicated to find ransom. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. I'm just curious why. Hmm. I don't really know what I was expecting, but it wasn't that. I think back through my past with ransom. I take a few breaths as I get ready to translate those thoughts into words. Sorry, you don't have to. No, it's fine. He looks at me, pointing his ears forward. Here goes nothing. Well, to start off, Ransom and I dated back when we were teenagers. To be honest, we were kind of a messy pair. Ransom just kind of lived in his own world and well, I'd say that I was a bit too codependent. I just kind of followed him around and did what he asked. I felt lonely whenever I wasn't around him. Then Ransom broke up with me when I started taking HRT. Oh, that's... Sure it hurt at first, but now I don't really mind it. Like I said, we were teenagers. Our relationship was messy to begin with, so if anything, it's probably better that we broke up. To be honest, I think that he was just figuring stuff out. He did have a brief fling with a man and woman at college. I see. To be honest, Ransom's had it kind of rough. While he was at Burlington, his parents decided that they wanted another child. But his mother died in childbirth, and to make things worse, the baby was stillborn. Oh shit. Yeah, his mother was like the anchor keeping the family steady. Even after Ransom and I broke up, she welcomed me with open arms. His father was always kind of cold, especially towards me. But after she died, he became even more distant, drowning himself in booze. So then Ransom basically became the breadwinner of the house. Patrick doesn't say anything as I talk, keeping his full attention on me. So, I guess what I'm saying is, I care about Ransom because I know what he's been through. Sure, our relationship was messy, and sure, Ransom just kind of lives in his own little bubble. But I still care, and I just want him to thrive. You know what I mean? Patrick stays silent for a bit, clearly analyzing everything that I just told him. Yeah, I get it. So, I'll keep doing whatever I can to help. We'll find him. I feel warmth as the line gives me reassurance. It is a feeling that I could afford to have right now. Thank you for telling me. And thank you for listening. We kiss. The rest of the night goes by rather unceremoniously. I check for any updates on image 1697. I see some more images, each with a shadowy figure, but all of them claim to be the real image. Right now, I don't see anything that might help with Ransom. We order a pizza and watch a new stop-motion animated movie. It's about a New England town, also under a witch's curse, so that's surprisingly relevant. Even though that heaviness never quite lifts, we still find a way to enjoy this night. I guess part of it is because we're one step closer to Ransom. Eventually, we had to sleep, a bit more comfortable than last night. October 14. And that's where I'm going to leave it for today. So, supposedly we are one step closer to ransom. We found, well, I guess the pair found his truck, and it was beaten to all hell. They also found a hand, and once again, they didn't tell anybody about it. Which is very, I suppose, horror movie tropey, where it's like, oh look, we found a whole bunch of evidence, but we're not going to tell anybody about it. We're going to keep it to ourselves. You know, because, you know, we're the ones that are trying to find the person, but like, you know, come on. The dad apparently finally realized that his son was missing, but I'm pretty sure, well, not that I'm pretty sure he probably is now like, oh, my wife and my unborn child are dead, and now my son is missing. Oh crap. Yeah. I believe that the whole, you know, at the beginning of when you're starting the visual novel, it says that there might be some things about transphobia related that they're going to be directed at the main character. So yeah, Ryan. So you're probably going to end up seeing that. I am still very interested in the story. I can kind of see where it's going, maybe? I mean, because this is placing it in Vermont. And I'm assuming that because he was related to somebody that was also accused of some sort of witchcraft, that perhaps this is gonna lead down to a kind of mass hysteria type story. Maybe like a sort of witch trials type of thing, the Crucible type of thing, where it's like, oh, these people are witches, burn them, or something like that. But why the hand and why him? Why Ransom specifically? What was that thing that was chasing him? Because apparently it was something strong enough to basically like claw the guy's room and then also basically destroy his truck. But also sentient enough, well, that's not the right word. Smart enough to know to probably open the front door and just walk around the house and find the guy's bedroom. So yeah. Anyways. Also, I wonder if they're gonna uncover some of the other pictures or show some of the other pictures that are popping up and say that and have like little clues in them. I wonder. I'm also getting kind of like Blair Witch Project vibes. That also reminds me of the Scooby-Doo project that they did. It was not exactly a tie-in, but it was sort of like a parody of the Blair Witch. It was pretty fun. You could probably find it on YouTube if you look for it. But yeah. Very curious what's happening. But I do like the vibe. I still like everything so far, so yeah. Anyways, so what are your thoughts? Write it down in the comments, and thank you all for watching / listening. If you would like to play Image 1697.jpg, you can do so by going down to the link in the description, which would have a direct link for the itch.io page where you can download and play the game yourself. I don't remember if they have any form of support, but if they do, I will be posting that down in the description. And if you would like to support the channel and become a channel member, it gives you earlier access to these videos as they're being scheduled, and it just helps support me, and it tells me that, like, hey, I like your videos, here's money on a monthly basis, cash! But yeah, also I have a Ko-fi in case you feel so inclined to support through there instead. You don't really get anything out of it, but like, you know, it does help. Also, Throne, in case you're feeling overly generous, you know, have stuff there, or you can just send some random thing that you found on Amazon and you're like, hey, this reminded me of you. Here, catch. But yeah. Anyways, I guess that's it for now, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.